And they're off. Away they jump. Lord of the Lodge away very quickly. Gubbass completely missed it and trails very badly. Pogo, Happy Power going forward. Lord of the Lodge on the outside in the noseband. Ever Given in the orange sleeves. They're tracked by Lusail and Sandrine. Back on the inside to Sir Dancelot. Kinross is held up together with Lennox. And then Sacred at the back of the pack. And completely detached is Gubbass as they swing right-handed slightly uphill. And it's Pogo that leads the way to Lord of the Lodge in second. Happy Power is in third place. They appear to be really tracking along. Ever Given is fourth on the inside, followed by Sandrine. Then Sir Dancelot and Lusail just nudged a bit. Back in the field, Kinross. They're pretty well strung out from Lennox as they run round now into the home straight with just over 3 furlongs to cover. Garbas still at the back of the field. Sacred with plenty to do towards the inside in a blue cap bobbing away. Pogo leads the way to Happy Power and Lord of the Lodge. Pulled out now is Sandrine on the outside. They are followed by Ever Given. Kinross getting closer is Sacred, but will need a few gaps. They're at the cutaway. So Dancelot behind these as they stretch on towards the final furlong and a half. Pogo far side of Happy Power. Sandrine down the near side. They're followed by Kinross, now staying on far side under Frankie. Back then to Sacred and Ever Given. Sandrine just about gets to the lead inside the final 100 yards. Kinross sneaking up the fence. Sandrine is just in front, but the others diving with Kinross. Sandrine, Kinross. Sandrine on the near side of Kinross, probably in a photo. Really tight finish. Back in third, Pogo. Behind those Happy Power and Sacred.
It's a busy day for Andrew Balding, but it started really well with this success at Group 2 level for Sandrine. There were signs there in the Falmouth, weren't there? And it looks like she's loved that strongly run 7.
Yeah, very much so. She travelled supremely well and really didn't have an anxious moment apart from maybe we'd hit the front a little sooner than David had wanted to. But no, she's a very high-class filly and she's really, thrived in the last sort of month. She was very slow to come to hand in the spring. But ran a good race in the Guineas, a very good race in the Falmouth, and this was more her bag today.
I mean, she was a really good juvenile, wasn't she? So it was the results that we saw in her first 2 races, from what you were seeing at home, that wasn't really surprising you, I take it?
No, and I mean, although she was working very like alcohol-free early in the spring, they were just, for whatever reason, the horses in general were just slower to come to hand than usual. But it's nice when you've got patient owners, understanding owners who know the game. You're not under the same pressure you could be. So we just found our way to here, and hopefully she's got the rest of the season to kick on.
Now, what does the rest of that season look like?
Well, this was very much a toe in the water to see if the foray was an aim. We were a bit worried, concerned at Ascot that she hadn't taken the bend very well, but she went around it today like she was on rails. So I think the foray would be the golden target, and possibly the City of York as a stepping stone for that.
Okay, so you're sticking to 7. You're not going back up to a mile at all?
Look, anything's possible. I haven't had a chance. Sadly, Kirsten's not here, so I haven't had a chance to discuss it with her. So all plans might change, but that's just off the top of my head.
Happy Power ran really well in 4.
Smashing, yeah. He's such a good horse around here, and hopefully he'll have his day again.
And runners coming thick and fast. Just a quick word for Nate the Great, and particularly Coltrane in the Goodwood Cup. Yeah,
well, Coltrane looks like he's really found his mojo again, and looks back to his best. But it's a very strong race, and Nate the Great always gives of his best. But he's been penalised as a result, and you're left with very few options for him. So hopefully they both run well.
What was the injury you brought Coltrane back from after he won the Melrose so impressively?
He had a fracture of his hind cannon bone, which has a plate and screws in, and touch wood, it hasn't bothered him since, but it was quite a long rehabilitation.
Okay, well done for getting him back. Congratulations here. Best of luck in the next.
Thank you.
Thank you. David Probert and I were just discussing what an important success this was in the Group 2 Lennox for Sandrine. Congratulations. Just explain exactly why it was so important for her.
Yeah, I mean, she was probably a little bit forgotten about for what she's achieved as a 2-year-old. She was an Albany winner, and she followed up at Newmarket in a Group 2. So, I mean, she ran in some very competitive fields as a 2-year-old, third in Achievely Park, and then we knew that the Guineas was her main aim as a 3-year-old. So she took a while to really blossom this season, and she's run consistently, but kind of in defeat, and she's got some very, very improving mile fillies in front of her. So the plan was to try the 7 furlongs today, and it worked out great for her. She's able to travel off a real strong gallop, and I'm just delighted for her to get her head back in front.
There were signs there in the Falmouth Stakes, weren't there?
There was. You know, she travelled very well, and it was a kind of, the winner had an easy enough time up front, and I was first to challenge and was probably just getting tired a little bit at the last 100 yards. But I think she does see the mile out well, but probably be a little bit more progressive and maybe a group, you know, be able to bag that Group 1 over 7 furlongs.
And was it your recommendation then to drop to the 7 after the Falmouth, or what was it, a team thing? How did it pan out?
Yeah, I think more of a team thing. You know, it was obviously options for a mile again, but this looked more of a viable option for her, the way she's transferred her speed as a 2-year-old into a 3-year-old career, so probably looked the more viable option of stepping to 7 furlongs.
And the other important element that Andrew was just explaining was you all weren't that confident about how she came around the bend in the Coronation Stakes, and so would she handle the bend and would the foray be a viable target? What was the answer from today?
Yeah, I think, like I said, she's just taken a while to really kind of come to herself, and she was still very inexperienced. The only other time she's gone around a bend was when she won her novice as a 2-year-old, and it was a long time then from there to Ascot, and she blew it a little bit, but more of a sweeping bend here today, and she was always in a comfortable rhythm, and she's not too much ground dependent either.
And so do you feel that she's of Group 1 quality and she can bag a race at that level over 7?
Yeah, she feels very much like a 2-year-old, the 2-year-old best. So I mean, she's flourished now, and she seems to finish articles. So I'm hoping that she can transfer into Group 1 level. And
how about for you? I mean, you're in the colours of Kirsten Rousing, and sadly she can't be here. But what does this success mean for you?
Yeah, massive supporter, and she's a great owner and breeder, and to wear her colours and to kind of thank her in such a race like this is a big thank you, and I'm just thankful for all the opportunities she gives me anyway.
Well, you've been a big part of this for this career, haven't you? You've been with her every step of the way.
I have, yeah, and I think I was just saying to Matt on the way in, you know, me and her probably deserve that Group 1, so hopefully it comes.
Oh, well, fingers crossed. I very much hope it does, David. Congratulations here on this important stepping stone.
Cheers, thanks Lydia. Thank you.